Hello everyone and welcome to Lipnox SQ, the show about the games, applications, and tech demos released on SideQuest for the Oculus Quest Virtual Reality headset. Before we get into the games, here's the intro. This title was in the MetaFest VR Jam #1 that was held back in September, and it won first place. Well, it's no wonder why. It's a well-crafted experience that is extremely fun to play and offers a great, complex, and fair challenge. It's one thing to beat the level, but to get all the gems and all the stars is something completely different. You use your hands to point to pull the ball you're in, so if you fail, it's your fault. The game never feels unfair in that regard. The environment are mostly untextured, but still nice to look at, and there's even some cats to mess up your day if you aren't careful. Those kittens sure do love to play. I'm a bad man and pushed a few of them off the edge. Sorry kitty, but I gotta get those stars. The blue gems send you flying at rocket speeds, so be careful of them as well. There are 5 stages ramping up the difficulty, and each offering unique gameplay elements that will challenge you. I had a roll in time and couldn't put it down until I beat each one. Though I still need to get all the stars, so there is still more rolling and dying left for me. I would love to see this turned into a full paid experience, but as a free game, it's an absolute must play on SideQuest. V-Speedway has just released its new 0.6 update, and I felt there was no better time to show it off as people are starting to get their Quest 2s in the mail, and it now supports 90Hz for the Quest 2. This is an arcade racing title with some amazing use of VR. You have mirrors to see cars behind you, and full automatic mode or manual if you think you're up to the challenge. It's quite clear experts only for the manual driving, so definitely not me. The visuals are basic but look very crisp on the Quest headset, and I imagine look even better on the Quest 2. You can only do standard race and time trial modes right now, but it's more than enough to have an hour of fun as the racers are definitely not pushovers. You grab the wheel with either hand or use both using the grip triggers, and then use the regular triggers for gas and brake. Hand braking to be added in the next update. I find driving with this kind of game in VR to not only be a lot of fun, but oddly relaxing, and for anyone learning to drive, extremely helpful. Even in flat screen games, having the mirrors to see behind you has always been something I look for, and they work so well here. I can't wait to see what the final product ends up being, but even in this form, it's very playable and definitely worth your time. Talk about an intense time. Yeah, that's this game. You're flying through the air, going from spot to spot, with full locomotion control, shooting the enemies that send beam shots your way you need to dodge. You can hide behind things, but the best way to stay ahead of the game and get out of the way is using the gravity weapon to pull yourself whatever direction you desire. It's hard to even explain without trying it, though I recommend a strong stomach. I'm experienced in VR, but not everyone is going to be able to endure this one, so caution is advised. There are 3 distinct weapons worth switching between, and the environment is quite basic looking. It has stairs and a lot of things to get cover behind though. You can change movement how you want. It's quick turning only, so being on Quest, I would say just turn in real life. It's so much better for this kind of game. I do wish enemies didn't have as much health, so the experience felt faster paced. As an early free demo, it's an experience you absolutely need to see for yourself. Fans of Time Crisis and light gun style shooters, please take note of this one. Now this game was $7 as the paid title, but now it's available for free as the developer has decided they would rather depend on donations, so keep that in mind. If you like the game, maybe throw them what you think it's worth so they keep making awesome stuff and keep updating this project. This is a light gun style shooter that honestly reminds me of Pistol Whip a lot in its aesthetic and design. You're dodging and blasting foes, avoiding hitting the pedestrians who are easy to spot due to the excellent coloring choice and style of the game. It's got several stages and weapon power-ups and a rocking soundtrack, and get this, even supports multiplayer, so you can easily link up with your friends or randoms. The levels are pretty complex in terms of enemy types and moving between areas, so don't expect to get bored. It does keep it interesting. I wish the starting weapon sounded more powerful, but that's just what power-ups are for. Shotgun, SMG, you know the deal, and the shoot down to reload aspect like it is in the classic arcade games is absolutely genius. I think it'd be very foolish to skip out on this title, especially when it costs you absolutely nothing. Don't miss Cybercade. It's one of the best you can experience on SideQuest. An open world pirate adventure? Sign me up. This is one I tried out months ago, and it's had some massive changes since then. You start in a gorgeous town, which in itself is almost worth the download to see, but with no loading or anything, you hop onto your ship, pull the green lever, and steer your ship to adventure. I was getting some serious Wind Waker vibes, good ones and bad ones. Kinda wish there was more to do on the ship while it sailed, but that will come with time. They even have a multiplayer planned on the roadmap. There isn't much to check out now, but you can definitely have a good experience exploring and finding some loot. It's got weapons, and this is something that is building up to be a massive game and one that has me extremely excited. I can't wait to see what G-Cook adds next, but consider this one that you should definitely take a look at. It's well worth your time and your support. And speaking of adding next, an update that's set to go live today is adding a new town island, new items, better movement, better ship mechanics, and even monuments. Also, if you end up trying it out, they have an amazing Discord they are collecting suggestions for improvements on, so you should definitely take a look there if you have a good time with this one. This is basically a showcase of the character models that are in the online Final Fantasy XI game, but it would be too much of a disservice to not mention it, as the character models look absolutely amazing and some of the monsters are incredibly creepy. I was legitimately afraid to turn my head to see what was next at times, seeing dragons or random creatures. Some of them even swing right at you and made me really jump. This includes the first volume and the new volume 2 that Drash has done for the fans, and volume 2 even includes some environments you absolutely need to see in VR. While it only lasted about 10 minutes, I really enjoyed my time I spent with this. I'm not someone who has played Final Fantasy XI, but for fans or people who just want to see some cool stuff in VR, I think this is yet another title you absolutely have to see. Thank you, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another amazing Lipnox SQ review.